and the beers in the air.
Hello and welcome to What's On, the show where we discuss films and we talk about films and review films. Anyway,
Today we're not doing films.
Yeah. I'm Billy Ray.
I'm Ellie.
I'm Tom.
Originally we were going to base this episode on 3 Billboards Outside Missouri, which was on in the cinema, but they eventually told us that the screen wasn't working. So instead, we're going to talk about Attack on Titan.
I love Attack on Titan personally, so I'm quite excited.
We've got season 3 coming out, but before we can talk about that, we can still talk about season 1 and 2.
Yeah, the trailer for season 3 is already out, but we might as well talk about what we thought about the first 2 seasons before the 3rd season comes out, because it's a very interesting show.
Yeah, it's a good survival story, really, of just survival, particularly when Eren, the main character, compares people in the very beginning to cattle, where we were reminded we are just cattle.
Yeah.
Which also is indicative to social classes as well, that, you know, there are elites who potentially think that poorer people are expendable always. That's why you have this whole conservative versus liberal and all that. I know that's quite a loose thing, but
No, yeah, that's a good analogy though. There is an unsurprising amount of political intrigue in the show as well.
Oh, yeah, it is really political, isn't it? Because of the you've got the wall, all the different. You've got this whole building. No, it's not a building.
It's not a building, it's more like a gigantic city that is surrounded by a wall, which is then surrounded by another gigantic wall,
Fortress.
which is then surrounded by another city, which is surrounded by another gigantic wall.
Yeah.
And these walls are very tall.
Yeah, was it like 100 and something feet
Well,
for the biggest one?
the colossal giant was 50 foot tall,
And
and he looked over the top.
over the top.
So just under.
Yeah,
Just
that's a
under.
big wall.
Especially considering at the very start when they smashed the top of the wall, those bricks go flying.
Yeah. But when it starts, you've got the colossal giant and you have the armoured giant. Now,
Well, it more introduces you to the world initially. It introduces you to the city and Eren, Mikasa and Armin, the 3 main protagonists. It sort of shows you what life is currently like, and it looks blissful from the children's perspective.
it's an idyllic peasant
Yeah.
life.
Then the attack happens, and they throw the attack straight away. Mass chaos. Colossal Titan breaks the gate down, and then more Titans start flooding into the city because obviously they've built up around the wall. It then presents instantly a flip side to the idyllic images that you're showing at the beginning, to the absolute chaos that this world can create and can be in by showing the Titans literally eating people.
Yeah, you two introduced this show to me and I was really surprised, just like right from the get-go, how scary these Titans actually are, considering that it's a cartoon, so I wasn't expecting it.
Even there, because their faces and their asexual bodies as well, it's very unnerving and disturbing. Particularly the very small ones, I always find tend to be more frightening for me, because they're the ones with the much larger, more comical heads. And particularly that one who had the giant. Do you remember? It is slightly later on. He had the giant eyes, and he was just crazy looking. It was scary.
Oh yeah.
Am I right in remembering that the first episode just had regular ones? In fact, there were only regular ones for a while, wasn't there?
Yeah, the first abnormal I think you see is the second attack on the wall, when after they've graduated from the academy.
Yes.
There's the second attack, and the first abnormal you see
Jumps.
springs off Eren, like goes past it on the ODM gear. He goes past it and you see Eren, and just down a street you see this Titan's face, like right there as he crosses past it, like a crossway down a little street, and then it springs off and eats somebody, like grabs somebody out of the air in his mouth.
Whilst they all scatter and go, be careful, it's an abnormal. It's like, doesn't matter, someone already got.
Yeah, it already got somebody.
And that's when it first dawns on them as well, because they're all pumped up, like, yeah, we've been training for this, you know, it's going to be fine. Like, actually,
That's exactly what I thought as well.
yeah, it's not
I'm
going
gonna
to
lie.
be fine. It's a bit like I had the same thing. I was like, yes, Eren and his comrades have got this. Like, they've been training for
this. The first few
this.
episodes are kind of like a training montage. It's like
It is.
pumping you up. Like, they're going to be awesome. Look at them flying through the air.
Yeah.
Those Titans got Nank on
It
them.
really builds
Yeah.
them up and makes them seem quite strong, and like
But
they go through the whole graduation thing, and like it shows you the top 10 people from the class.
And like the future is going to be different, but you forget that they are actually the very top of the very bottom. There
Yeah.
are people so much more skilled than them. We would have already had this handled. Clearly, they are difficult.
And then we get absolutely Game of Thrones.
absolutely left, right, and
you get
centre.
hardcore Game of
yeah.
Thrones in that first attack after they get graduated.
Yeah, try
You've got
not.
characters who you think are established main characters. They get fucked up.
Yeah, try not to get attached to anybody in particular.
Well, yeah, we've lost so many people already.
Yeah. I would say they haven't actually killed off a significant character yet, though. Like, what significant character in the first two seasons have they killed off?
At one point, I thought Eren,
Eren.
but then Eren came back.
This is true. They do kill Eren off and then bring Eren back.
I guess it's more really well-established side characters rather than main characters, actually.
They put you in that sense of thinking something terrible has happened to a main character, only to like alleviate your pain several episodes later. Which is a good tool, but if overused, gets quite repetitive. Very effective for surprising everybody that Eren is the fucking Titan. Like, I did not see that coming first time I watched the show. This is completely out of left field.
For me, that wasn't actually. When he was eaten, that for me was, oh my god, he's not that. I had to have a sit back and go, okay, he's not the main character, and think, well, who is the main character then? Who is the main character? And I got you as well, because I went, see, he's not the main character, only for you to become attached to Mikasa.
Which I was very happy with.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Only for you to become attached to Mikasa, and then later it be revealed that no, actually, Eren is alive and he's a Titan and he's kicking ass, and you were really angry. But when I remember first watching that, I was, God, this must have been back in, when it first sort of aired, so 2016, 15?
I don't know, let me look it up.
But whenever this was, I remember being alone in my first house in uni, and I was watching it in my bedroom, and Eren had died. I'd come to conclusion, fine, he's dead, cool, whatever, Mikasa's probably in charge. And it's as she's kind of given up and then not given up and gone, actually no, I'll fight for life for Eren, because Eren would be angry at me if I didn't fight. And this giant Titan steps over the top of her as another Titan comes towards her, and as I saw the hair on his face, it just sparked in my brain like the lightning that you see when they turn into Titans. That genuinely flashed across my head and went, it's fucking Eren.
How did
That
your
Eren.
brain possibly come to the
It was the
conclusion that
hair.
a human could be a Titan, though?
Because they
How did
already
this
look
happen?
they already look like humans, and Eren wasn't attacking her, and it kind of, with the hair and the screaming, it kind of looked like him. I had a really strong feeling, and then it was very, very closely after that confirmed. But the hair and just in the moment, I remember it did trigger it for me. That didn't hit me out of left field. Some other things did.
It's 2013, by the way.
Oh damn, they're taking their time.
Yeah, there's a big gap between season 1 and season 2, and then obviously season 2 is actually shorter than season 1, so I don't think there's been as big of a gap between season 2 and 3. Because it's based on a manga, usually they let the manga get ahead of the anime. That's why they take ages to do things like that. That's why stuff like Naruto goes on break every 6 months.
Okay, that's fair enough. When did season 2 come out, out of curiosity then? Considering that season 3 is coming out this year, I imagine? I assume it's this year. Because season 2 was just full of brand new questions and very little answers.
Very little got answered, lots of questions, things thrown in there, very blasé, which genuinely made me have to stop the running of the show and just have a moment to myself.
This actually happened. Ellie stood up and paused the show because of a reveal.
It's the way it came out, because it was a fan theory that I'd been building on, and it was finally confirmed, but it wasn't confirmed in a way that I thought. It was literally just pull character aside, go, hi character, I did this. Oh, okay. We'll talk about it, but I was utterly blown away.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that.
Yeah, but from the first season to the second season, obviously now going into the third, what do you think of Eren's character development? I know you, Billy, don't like him, and you don't think he's had any character development.
The main reason I don't like him is because as a character, I don't think he's had any development at all. He's consistently pushing himself to do things, but he's always done that, and he's consistently annoyed and angry and angsty, and it never changes. His character just never changes.
I actually kind of agree with you. He was angsty and angry from the very get-go. Whether it be, I want to join the Scouts and my mum doesn't want me to, but I'm going to do it. And then, oh, well, a Titan has eaten my mother now, so now I'm just going to kill all Titans and get all scary.
That death scene.
Season 2 aired April 2017, I believe.
Oh, so this one's not taken as long?
No. Answering a question from earlier, and it took me ages to find the answer. I had to troll through a couple of articles to find
big gap between season 1 and 2, not so big between 2 and 3. That's nice.
That's good.
Appreciate that. But his mum, that was straight away.
I cry every time I see it.
It is
every time.
It is genuinely sad, even though it's an animation and you've not even had a full 20 minutes to actually get used to these characters. Seeing him crying whilst being carried away from his mum, who's been squeezed, and then
the Titan snaps her as if you would a chicken's neck by squeezing around it and pulls it up so that she's just
he sees the whole thing.
He does. For me, the bit that always catches me, because I'm already welling up seeing this happen, because obviously it's just gory and very traumatic. It's when she is going, you have to run. Even if you got me out of here, both my legs are broken. I can't run. You have to go. She begs Hans, the wall police, to take her children, her children, Eren, her biological son, and Mikasa, her adopted daughter, to safety. And as he's running away, she's screaming, run, run. And then she has to cover, even now I'm starting to feel funny even thinking about it, she has to cover her mouth to stop herself from screaming, please don't leave me.
Yeah, she actually says it. She covers her mouth and actually just says, don't leave me, please don't leave me.
Yeah. Because she doesn't want her son to...
That would traumatise him even more as well.
Yeah,
if he heard that.
But she can't stop herself from saying it, so she has to... And it's very realistic, and it's frightening, and you feel Eren's absolute pain as well. And then later when Hans gets down and he's also in tears, and because he had a moment where he could have done something about it, and Eren's fighting him, and he's going, Eren, you couldn't fight the Titan because you weren't strong enough. I couldn't fight the Titan because I just didn't have the courage. And it makes it all that much worse for Eren because something potentially could have been done. That being said, obviously we do later on when Eren is more vengeful and he's gone into the training cadet corps to learn to be a scout, we come across Annie Leonhardt, who is absolutely fantastic, and she makes him open his eyes a little bit. It's a shame she doesn't talk to Armin more, at least we haven't seen her talking to Armin more about it, but she says, open your eyes. Why would you send only the top 10 can join the military police, which is the police that goes into the middle sector. Why would you put them, the best Titan hunters?
The military police, who are all supposed to be the top 10 passing cadets from every cadet class, their job is to protect the king, who is behind 3 walls, is it? 3 50-foot walls. And he needs the best of the best in the middle of all of these walls to protect him.
Yeah. Why would you send the best Titan hunters as far away from the Titans as you could?
Yeah.
Annie Leonhardt was a great character. Season 2 really lacked... Well, it didn't lack a good villain. Bertolt and Rainer were very good villains. But for me, personally, they didn't live up to Annie Leonhardt just because I really enjoyed Season 1 a lot. A lot more than Season 2, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think Season 1 is more enjoyable than Season 2, but it's probably because a lot more happens in Season 1.
Yeah, it's a lot more satisfying rather than just throwing in random things to give you more questions, like a giant talking gorilla out of nowhere.
Oh, the giant... Oh,
but this is the thing with Season 2. It did all of these things and then it didn't answer any questions, and it was just so confusing and underwhelming.
What questions did Season 1 answer? If we're being honest, what question? Like the
questions. It didn't throw in as many questions.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't leave me with as many questions as Season 2 left me with, because Season 2 left me with a lot more to think about than Season 1 did. But they don't really answer anything. They just create more questions. It's like this season. So a big point of Season 1 is trying to get back to where Eren's parents lived, to get into the basement to learn more secrets about the Titans. And then halfway through Season 2, they don't mention it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Gets to like the end of the season, and then they mention it again.
Yeah,
So,
that plot thread never went anywhere,
that
did
plot
it?
thread never went anywhere. It was supposed to. They talk about it in season 1. It's the whole point of finding the mole when they go outside of the wall for the first time and encounter the female Titan, is to eventually get to this basement where all of their answers are supposed to be. It just stops being their goal. They don't do anything towards it.
I don't think it stops being their goal. I just think other things get in the way. It's difficult to move they have to come up with a horse formation. It's difficult to actually get there in the first place. So I don't think they've abandoned it as a goal. I just think so many other things have gotten in their way, particularly as information has developed very, very quickly.
Yeah, maybe they'll come back to it.
Season 2 did the thing with
The wall.
The wall. The wall.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's kind of ticked me off a bit. To not even tip your hat to it at the end of the season, to be like, and remember, there's a Titan in the wall. Like, I guess they did a little bit, but not. There are bloody Titans in the walls, and they just kind of went, yeah, okay. There's been an accident within the walls. One of the walls is broken. Oh, look, there's a face hanging out of it, and one of the they're religious, the cult leaders. The wall cultists comes over and goes, for God's sake, don't let it wake up.
Don't let the sun
on it. So they put a bloody patchwork quilt over the top of it, and then we just don't talk about it anymore. It's just done.
It's gone.
See, this is the thing with season 2. Unanswered for questions that aren't even alluded to anymore.
No.
There is a Titan mind-controlling giant gorilla, and there is Titans in the walls. They established that the walls are made of Titans.
Yeah,
somehow
they don't explain. They don't explain why.
They do this.
They don't. I mean, obviously they show the scientist lady, who I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
The one with the goggles.
Oh, she's your favourite as
The one
well.
with the goggles. They show her obviously trying to figure it out, and not long after they find the face in the wall is when they have the breach that happens, where they look for the breach in the wall. I guess it immediately goes from them finding the Titan in the wall to hearing that
there's a breach
when there isn't actually a breach, hearing there's a breach and going to find the breach, and then I guess they never actually don't give themselves enough time to it, because they just go from one thing to the next. They don't finish explaining everything, but it's sort of like a necessity because they're trying to figure it out, but this thing happens, so they have to go and deal with it.
It's actually quite funny. They know less about the situation than we do.
Yeah, that's true. And actually that leads back to going back to, I think it's like the Xinjiao district or something, which is where he's from. Shiganshina, yeah. That's why they can't go back, because again, okay, they've been on this scout mission, they've captured Annie, so okay, now we'll go to the Shiganshina district. Shiganshina district. Oh no, but wait, but there's a Titan in the wall. Oh no, wait, now there's a breach. Oh no, wait, now I've been kidnapped, and then the season finishes.
Yeah.
But actually, linking back very quickly to you saying about Erin not developing, I 100% agree with you. Right up until the point where he spots his mother's killer Titan again, and Mikasa is basically somewhat professing her love for him finally, and I'm gonna die, and you've clearly not picked up on this any other way, so I'm just gonna tell you.
Boys are so dumb.
Oh God, he's as thick as a box of shit. He really is so stupid when it comes to her. When she, because she wears his scarf everywhere she goes, and he's just like, yeah, she really likes the scarf. She's like, no, then why do you think she's smelling it all the time, you tit?
Yeah, that's not something that your adopted little sister would do.
Yeah.
Surely, I get that she smells it all the time. Surely it just smells like her now, right?
I know, but it's
like she's had it for 10 years.
10 years, yeah. But do you see what I mean? Like, it's the fact that it's his. To her, it's still his, but she gets to wear it. It's
right.
and
she
he
should probably wash that. It's
definitely
she
should definitely wash it.
But I get what you're saying. You were leading to the point.
Isn't it a different one? Because in season 1 it gets destroyed.
And she remakes it.
She repairs it.
But that's the fact. She takes the time to repair it because it's his scarf.
Yeah.
And he can't see that. But no, then he stands up. So she's professing his love for him. He stands up and somewhat, he doesn't exactly say it back, but he kind of says, I will protect you. I will love, I love you too, but I'm angry all the time. And then he semi-hulks it. Remote control hulks it. That was sick though, when he went to transform into a Titan, and instead he couldn't. and he was just controlling Titans instead.
Yeah, throws the punches and the Titans just start attacking it and ripping it to pieces.
Yeah, he's developed the power of the giant gorilla
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
where he can now control the Titans because they were all doing what he wanted them to do. Now they're all doing what Eren wanted them to do, but Eren didn't realise he was controlling them. Anime's weird.
Anime is weird.
This
And
show's weird.
Bertold and Rainier were looking for, was it the controller or the commander?
The controller, yeah, there's something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's clearly what Eren
That's why they wanted him.
Yeah, that is why they
he
want
has
him.
this power.
Yeah. Speaking of things that did hit us from the left side, though, as you said earlier, when you said Eren being a Titan really surprised you, Ymir, I was absolutely shocked. I was flabbergasted. When she threw herself off, when she's talking kind of hysterically to Historia. And say, live the life you want and all this. And she throws herself off the top and cuts herself, and I'm thinking, no, not you too. And she changes, but I knew something was off, and I assumed she might, the coordinate, that's a good name as well. I assumed something was off, and maybe she was a Titan, but it really, when she did it, it really did hit me from the left side. When she was scavenging through some supplies when they were stuck in the castle, and she picks up a can of herring, and she says, oh, it's herring, and then passes it to Rainier, and Rainier can't read it, but he knows what it is. He can't read it, but he has seen the language before, and he is frightened suddenly and says, Ymir, how can you read this? But it's easily forgotten in all the chaos because suddenly they're all attacked by Titans.
They are instantly attacked by Titans.
And the look on her face as well as she turns to him before they attack, it's that very stereotypical Fear Them anime sketch. With the dark, sketched out eyes and the shadowiness,
the bacteria, shadowy
background. Yeah, that very stereotypical drawing.
Yeah, it makes
sinister.
Stuff. Yeah.
And I'm really, really interested in her now. So she's been a Titan, apparently, on the outside of the wall for 70 years as part of a punishment. So she's been inside the wall, if we take it back, she's been inside the wall for 5, at least, because she was in the Cadet Corps. And she was out, 2 years before that. Then 70 years outside the wall. She was about 14, 15 when she was captured and sent outside the wall. So we're looking at her birth being around about the time, if not only slightly after, the walls were built. She must know what they're made of. She must know what happened.
Well, again, to that, right? Bertold and Rainier must be pretty old as well, because we see in the... Oh, no, that's not true, because she gets turned into a Titan for 70 years, falls asleep, the ground covers over her, and then she springs up out of the ground and kills the guy that Bertold and Rainier are with. So she was already a Titan for 70 years when she did that.
But that's what I'm saying. She knows about the walls and stuff.
She knows more than they do, probably.
Absolutely.
She has a better understanding of where the history's come from. But she's got a big gap. So she knows where they started, but not knows how they got to where they are. But
that's the thing. In this moment, it actually doesn't matter because the mystery of the wall. Nobody knows now how the wall was built, what happened. Those people need that information, and I'm betting you she's got it.
The wall cultists know that he knew there was a Titan in the wall, so they probably know how the wall went up.
And why won't they tell anyone? What is so terrible? Why can't they? Because they made it very clear that you can kill us, you can torture us, but we won't tell you. Why? Yeah. There must be something more frightening than what they're going to do to you to stop you. Which leads me back to the monkey. Does the monkey have some sort of agreement with humans of some kind? Or, I mean, what? Who is he?
Questions for another time. Questions
so
that we probably won't
questions.
even have answers for in season 3, if we're being perfectly honest.
Probably small questions.
Yeah, like season 3, they're now probably going to go to the basement and completely forget about the big hairy gorilla dude.
Who is slowly making his way into the interior.
Yeah.
They are going to have to answer some questions, though.
Eventually.
People don't like shows which just build up on questions. This is why Lost did really badly within the last few seasons.
Yeah, you can't compare Attack on Titan to Lost, because Attack on Titan already has a structure. Lost had a structure that was then changed.
Again and again.
It did really well, so they were like, okay, I know this was only supposed to be 3 seasons, but now let's make it 13.
That's the... Yeah.
So,
but the questions, there's a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. People can't People don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
I do have another question. What is it about Historia or Krista that seems so appealing to Titan people, if we're going to be completely honest?
Well, it's not just the Titan people.
Do you think it's everybody?
It's everybody. She gives off like an aura because, even Sasha and Connie.
Oh yeah, she calls her a goddess because it's bread.
Yeah.
She brings her bread. I love Sasha Browse. Isn't she Chloe from
Life is Strange.
Aloy from Horizon Zero
Oh,
Dawn as well.
yes. Which,
And she's
Ashley Birch is very talented.
She's the little girl in Borderlands 2.
Yeah, Potato Girl is Ashley Birch, who's very talented.
we love her.
That has a lot of good roles. Even just Aloy, man.
She's quite a good character. She even got her own episode in season 2.
She did, yeah. Sasha gets her own episode, yeah, where she shoots the Titan in the eye.
That is a good thing about this show. It really does. It gives you a lot of close attention to each character throughout the show, which I really appreciate. I like that.
I did actually really like that because she had sort of like 4 or 5 arrows. She managed to get 1 arrow in. She's trying to get the other and she's got 1 left. And she thinks, right, instead of aiming and firing, I'm just going to make sure this goes in, and just stabs the Titan in the eye with this with this bow. And I think that's so brave and so cool. And she's telling this poor child, run. And she, it's just lovely. I think she's got more character development than Eren does. But Eren, I do think he has it just at the very, very end of season 2.
Well, he has power development, but his character doesn't develop that much.
Yeah,
It develops because
his character is him getting more control over his power, not him personally changing.
He accepts Mikasa as his partner a little bit more.
He acknowledges her. I wouldn't say he accepts her as his partner.
But acknowledges
But I
her.
guess acknowledging her is more than he has ever done.
So with that is a step. It's a tiny...
It's a step.
It's a baby step.
They have a very long history together. I mean, like, the first time he sees her, he's saving her from being kidnapped and sold off to the sex trafficking industry. So, and they're like, what, 7, 8?
And he convinces her to stab this guy to death.
To stab a guy. And she puts some force behind that stab and, like, smashes up a knife handle. We talk about the powers and stuff. And it's shown, I think they try to show that the Titans can use the powers in human form to aid themselves. So Bertolt gets bitten by a Titan on the arm and then somehow possesses Rainer gets bitten on the arm and then somehow possesses the sheer strength to just lift his arm up. This Titan that's like, what, 9 foot tall? Lift it up above his head. I know they don't actually weigh a lot. They do make a point of saying they don't weigh a lot. But even it biting down on him and not piercing through his skin, he still manages to lift it up and they chuck it off the side of a building. He gets a lot of strength just all of a sudden.
Yeah, and when he is then hurt because of the bite.
Because he needed the power. He was hurt, he needed the power. It supplied exactly what he needed. In that situation, right?
Or just chomp right through the arm.
When Mikasa stabs the guy and she breaks the knife handle, she needed that much power.
So you think she's been injected with this thing too?
She's got it too. I think she has the powers too, but she hasn't.
Wait, you think Mikasa is the Titan?
Yeah.
I think she is, yeah.
Eren
Well,
Yeager's
then
dad,
the Titans are fucked.
Eren Yeager's dad was giving... He gave Eren an injection, didn't he?
Yeah.
When we first are introduced to Mikasa as a child, to her backstory, he introduces himself to her as, I'm the I've given you injections before. Do you remember? I'm the doctor. That's why he was going to her anyway, to give her injections.
Mikasa is great. Anytime she shows up during a fight, I just think, now you're in for it. She's gonna get you.
Now you're fucked.
Like it's like
yeah.
in Avengers, except instead of Thor coming down from the sky, it's Mikasa coming down from the sky,
And I feel a lot more relieved.
"Oh, you guys are so fucked now."
She is fantastic. She is brilliant. I don't like how attached she is to Eren, but I guess you've got to have your vice somewhere. Everywhere else, she's perfect.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that she's perfect. Girl's got temper on her, but
as long as she's around, Eren is safe. She needs to go.
Yes, her temper is only triggered by Eren as well. Again, it's her vice, but it's also really realistic and frightening. It's terrifying. Like when you have the sort of final clash with Bertold, Rainier, Eren, Mikasa, Historia, and Ymir. And Mikasa is telling Ymir, I'm not going to do anything to you, but if you stand in my way, I will kill you. And she means it. And Ymir goes to do something, and Historia is like, don't. don't do anything.
Well, all of the cadets are afraid of Mikasa anyway.
As they should be, because she's terrifying and she's got nothing to lose. Eren is the one thing, maybe Armin, but Eren is the one.
She would protect Armin.
Protect Armin with her life, but Eren is the thing she has to lose, and she's already lost it once, and it became more badass because of it.
MVP.
Oh, MVP all the way.
You used it right.
I know what that means now.
I do just want to pat myself on the back though, because I did figure out that Rainier was the armoured giant, and then Tom helped me figure out that Bertold was the colossal giant, and I was absolutely thrilled. However, when they revealed it, as we've spoken about later, I had to stop the screening because I couldn't. They were on top of the wall, and Rainier is just having a moment where he is clearly having an identity crisis.
He's lost his damn mind.
He's lost his damn mind, the fool. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. It's like, I don't know what you are, mate. Like, you tell me. And he just pulls Eren aside and goes, 5 years ago, me and Bertold broke down the wall. I'm the armoured giant, he's the colossal giant. And Eren is just standing there going,
we broke down the wall and began the war on humanity.
And there is
no music, cuts to the next shot.
Yeah, it's just, it's as if he's just gone, I want to have a piece of cake. Like, it's so casual, so blasé. It is later revealed that Eren already sort of knew this and they were trying to trap them, but still, just the blasé nature of it. It just also goes to show how much Rainier has genuinely lost his mind. And then Bertold is like, really? We're doing this here? We're doing this now? Like, I feel so bad for Bertold because he is literally dragged into it by Rainier's insanity. And he doesn't know what to do, which is funny because he's the bigger one. You'd think he would be the one who has the more power, but clearly Rainier is far more powerful. He's just got brute size.
Big lumbering, gigantic, colossal titan. He doesn't really provide any threat. In fact, when the second time the colossal titan shows up, Eren would have sliced his neck open if he didn't disappear.
Yeah. So Eren was ready. Well, not ready, but he was. Let's go. And I actually now really pity Bertold. Wasn't really all that bothered by him in the first season, but the second season, my heart genuinely goes out to him because clearly he is stuck and he doesn't know what to do. His love has frozen herself, and for all he knows, to his knowledge, is being tortured to within an inch of her life.
Because Mikasa tells him that they're torturing.
Armin tells him, and he gets dark and nasty with it, and that was really surprising because he was like, "What do I have to do to get this to stop? What do I have to give up?" And he had to give up his kindness.
Yeah.
He had to get into Bertold's head. So to his best knowledge, the love of his life, as we can assume, is frozen and being tortured. His best friend has lost his damn mind. He is struggling with the guilt of breaking in this door and killing those people because he does feel guilt, whether he's human or titan, because that's the thing, the way they speak and how confined they are and how they've de-evolved. I feel like I'm not 100% sure if their original state is human or titan.
I think they mean they've de-evolved as people.
I know,
they used to be, I think what it's more in reference to, they used to be nice, kind people that only wanted to do good in the world. Now they're doing all this evil. Yeah. And they feel like less of people because they probably feel more like a titan. I think that's a good argument, but I'm not going to let go of that. I'm going to ride that out a bit. I don't know if their original form is human or titan, but that last clash, the Armin, just coming back to that, I loved that. He got really dark and nasty, and he's been so clever throughout the whole thing. He's been so clever. He's been 12 steps ahead of everybody. Armin's the device that they use for exposition in the show. So you essentially know as much as Armin knows, and once Armin figures something out, that's when you learn it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've established that he's clearly not a fighter.
No.
The way he was trying to hold off the Titan.
That being said, when you and I, because obviously how much I've loved the show, I've loved talking about it outside of it, when we've been spitballing, do you remember we did figure out that with 100% accuracy and feeling in myself that Rainier was definitely the armoured titan, because when they were in the formation and they were looking for...
You're talking about the expedition outside the wall
with the female titan. Yeah.
And she grabs Rainier.
First he's obsessed with where Eren is.
Yep.
She's come from the direction that he only knew about. She grabs him and he slices the directions of where he now knows Erin is, and then she suddenly starts running towards him. I remember thinking that and thinking, it's Rainier, and I actually used to think Rainier and Annie were a couple, but now I obviously realise that it was misdirection, but obviously Bertold has the feelings for
Rainier
Annie.
bursts out of her hand
Yeah.
towards Armin, and they think they're fucked. Armin thinks they're fucked, and she runs in the complete opposite direction, which is where Erin is.
She looks at her hand
For
first,
ages as well.
and then she runs in the opposite direction because obviously he cut where she should go
into her
her
hand.
hand.
And that's what got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made me go, right, it's definitely him. And also, how can you get caught, crushed, because she crushes him slightly.
No, she does, but it is a device that they use for other characters. Captain Levi does it at one point, gets caught by one of them and slices out, and I think Mikasa does it at one point as well. So it is something that they show you that people can do, because those blades are supposed to be like super fine, slice through anything kind of blades. So you have those blades up. Theory is you put enough force behind it, you can get out, because the Titans aren't supposed to be that dense, really, are they? They're surprisingly light for their size, they mention all the time. So it's definitely something that is possible within the realms. Like, people have been full-on grabbed and still escaped, as long as they have access to their blades.
Yeah.
So
where do we stand on what we think the origins of the Titans are? Just experiments, all of them?
I've got no
difficult.
idea.
No idea. Absolutely clueless. I think they want us to believe it's experiments, but it could be hereditary. We don't know. It could pass from generation to generation.
Because if it's experiments, that giant mind-controlling gorilla is that's pretty out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have to be the first, right?
Yeah, that would have to be somewhat of an original.
it's just so out there, isn't it? But he blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, he also, the giant gorilla thing supposedly possesses the power to control the Titans and to evidently turn people into Titans.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering is how conscious are the Titans? So we said about Ymir being outside the wall for 70 years. Clearly has some vague memory of it, otherwise she would just be like, well, I don't remember my life until I was X amount of years old, back inside the wall. She remembers. She even remembers eating the guy.
She does remember.
Yeah, being a Titan's not a blackout moment for her.
It's not.
It is for Eren, though.
It is for Eren the first time, but Connie's mother as well.
So
Who's
maybe
turned into a Titan and whispers to her son as she's sort of hanging outside of her house, welcome home. She's conscious enough to take him in.
So those are probably natural Titans, not experiments.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I think there are experimental Titans like Eren, who we know is an experiment, and natural Titans, or everybody is infected in some way and they found a way to enhance it and unlock the gene.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't know that he is necessarily an experiment. We know that he has been
Experimented on.
So it could be that
that's
his
a good point.
father knew that he had these abilities and gave him the injections to quell the abilities.
Yeah, because I guess Eren is quite considerably young in comparison to the Titan characters that we know.
Yeah, we know that he hasn't spent any of this time outside of the wall. And
So many questions.
Yeah. I would like it if Armin's parents weren't dead and they somehow came back and we could learn something from them, because I feel like they are somehow pivotal in this, because they gave Armin the book about what is outside the wall.
Yeah, they had been out.
They have been outside of the wall. They know there's different stuff out there. And Rainier and Bertold are even telling Eren, it's not that bad outside the wall, it's actually not. It's better, and the Titans aren't that bad. They're saying the Titans aren't that bad. You just need to get you need to get to know them or something, but you just need to understand them better or something. But clearly they are sympathetic towards Titans.
Madmen.
They are. I don't get it. But Bertold looks so sad when Mikasa cut him. Can I just say, when she cut his neck,
yeah.
I was like, Mikasa, rude.
I was like, go for it, girl.
No, and he was clutching at himself because
Good.
it's not his. In that moment, it's not his fault. He is just frightened. His friend's lost his damn mind.
I don't care. He kicked in the wall.
He did kick in the wall
Chopped
twice.
their fucking heads off.
Yeah, he did kick in the wall twice.
More times than Rainier.
Yeah, Rainier only
Rainier
burst through it once.
Only destroys one gate.
He burst through once.
Yeah, he only destroys one gate.
It's weird though, because obviously there's so much unanswered stuff, like we've said already. Like, how did they get to the wall? What was the plan when they got there? Why isn't Annie there in the first attack? Why isn't Bertold or Annie there in the second attack? Right, okay, actually Annie's probably not there in the second attack because she went to the MPs.
Yeah, she's probably in with the MPs already.
Obviously it's happening for a reason, and once we get the full picture we'll understand more, but it
Yeah.
seems very haphazard.
At this point in the series,
Yeah,
we haven't established very much.
What we've established is that Eren can turn into a Titan. Some other people can turn into a Titan. There's a big monkey thing that turns people into Titans.
And we don't
There's
know very
Titans
much
in the
about
wall.
Titans.
We
Other
don't,
than
yeah,
physically.
They give you bits of information that are relevant information to understand the universe, but they don't give you information. They haven't given a lot of information to understand the story.
Like, I guess we know a lot about the world.
Yeah,
We just don't know very much about the Titans.
No, they are very much a mystery.
but even we know that the people in the universe don't know very much about the Titans. We
So
know as
we're
much.
learning along with them.
Yeah, we know as much as they know. It's like there's the scout that sees the big hairy gorilla dude for the first time, and he talks to him.
Then the gorilla talks.
Yeah,
And takes his equipment.
and takes his ODM gear.
No, he was very impressed with it, and then he starts walking away, and then Scout starts shouting or something, and he goes, "I didn't say you could speak," or "Now you can speak," or
No,
he
now
speaks to
he speaks to the Titan and says, "Now you can move."
Now you
Because
can
the
move, and
Titans
they-
are all going to attack this guy, and he stops them. Yeah.
"Oh, now you choose
And then
to
they
speak."
just tear them apart.
Yeah. I also would like to see more of Annie because I miss her a lot, and she was a very bloodthirsty lady because when she would catch people on their ODM gear and she'd just be swinging them round
Yeah,
like
she
they were
was
some sort
nasty.
of keychain. I mean, oh my god.
She's a nasty, cynical character.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot.
The scientist lady is Hanji.
Hanji, yeah.
Ah,
Her name.
yes, with the goggles.
With
Yes.
the goggles, yeah.
Awesome. She's quirky.
She's good. Good characters. They have lots of eccentric characters, so it's nice
Typical anime.
mix. Yeah, typical anime. Lots of characters, not a lot of character development for the side characters. But I guess they're not very many episodes into it, so they haven't had a lot of time to.
I guess
dive
I
in.
guess season 2 is shorter, so that's another reason why it might feel a bit more rushed and haphazard.
Lots
Yeah,
of action though, and it's
yeah.
wonderful. I'd love to, if after this, actually watch it again.
We should definitely
I'm always
watch it
happy to
again.
watch it again.
I was gonna say, as someone that hasn't watched a lot of anime, I've only watched Death Note other than this.
And Ruby.
It's a type of anime.
Ruby is an anime.
It's an animation.
Oh, wait,
but
no,
it's not
it-
made in Japan. So.
Well, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't have to be made in Japan.
Doesn't
It
have to
does.
be made.
That's the definition.
No, it's not.
So even if you include Ruby, I still haven't seen a lot of anime.
No.
No, it's true.
So,
Back to your point, yeah.
Yeah. This is a good show to start you off. I think.
Yes.
I think this would be a good show to start you off. I started
As long
off
as
with Death Note. So
As long as you're okay with gore, though.
yeah, if you're looking for serious anime that kind of isn't the typical childish anime that's displayed stereotypically on TV, this is a good place to start.
Yeah, it covers a lot of
In my
adult
opinion.
themes, and it's gory as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's serious.
There's a lot of blood.
It's a good show. You get really emotionally invested.
Yeah, you do. I'm very much looking forward to season 3,
Attack on Titan season 3 comes out in July.
July this year.
Yep. So hopefully we'll get some answers and we can talk about the season then.
Yes.
Until then, hopefully
Well, we can talk
at
about-
some point we can watch 3 billboards
Yeah,
outside
I'd
like
Missouri.
to.
Thank you for listening. You can message us at whatsonpodcast@outlook.com or just comment on anything that you're listening to this on. Please get in touch. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's always nice to talk to people.
We'll reply. Goodbye from me.
Bye.
See ya.